What's going on, everybody? It's Chris Toro. So I just came back from watching the Black Panther movie. And before I get started on things I didn't like about the movie, let me just make this very clear. Black Panther is one of my favorite superhero movies. It's almost up there with The Dark Knight for me. Killmonger is by far the most impressive villain I've seen in almost any superhero movie. What the director and the cast did with the characters and the story was just amazing. But the movie wasn't perfect. There are a few things I had kind of an issue with, and it might be more related to the Black Panther comics if this does correlate with it. So let me get started with the first thing. Killmonger was a good villain. This is true. But in order to make him the great villain that he is, almost every other good character needed to be thrown under the bus, either to look incompetent or just plain evil. I mean, the fact that T'Challa's father had the Black Panther suit and his super strength and didn't even try to apprehend his own brother, but instead killing him, even though he had a vibranium suit and he was trying to shoot at Forrest Whitaker's character, he could have easily just stepped in front of the bullet and apprehended him instead of just killing him for the sake of giving Killmonger a sympathetic story. And I know, when things happen, you have only so much time to think, but that's why you drink that super serum that the Black Panthers drink, to think faster, to make better decisions, and still made the worst decision you could possibly make in that kind of situation. And I'll say it again, Killmonger is a great villain, but for that scenario that fueled his story, he was. And sure, you could say, oh, those were different times, it was in the past. But no, Wakanda has been an advanced civilization for so long, but their politics and their wisdom is far beyond that of other countries and nations, and it should have been made clear by their decisions. But seeing how he not only killed that little boy's father, but knowingly left him alone in the street, instead of feeling guilty and taking him in, and having him resent him over time like a cliche character. I know they didn't want to make the storyline cliche, so they had that tragic thing, that unbelievable thing happen, but at the same time, it's unbelievable. I didn't understand why he had to kill him instead of just grabbing the gun out of his hand with his super strength. It just didn't seem like the right thing to me. And this guy was a king. He is making decisions every single day, making very big decisions, and he was faced with one that had to do with his own brother, and he made the poorest decision ever. So that means that not only was he making poor decisions in that situation, but him, along with other generations of kings, were making poor decisions as well. Just to fuel Killmonger's sympathetic story, they not only threw T'Challa's father under the bus, but they threw all the other kings before him and made them all look like idiots. And I just think, alright, if they had a good reason for not sharing their technology with the rest of the world, besides just being irrationally scared and not understanding the world. If they had a reason like, they tried to share the technology before, but it always turned out bad. They tried to share it multiple times, but every time it resulted in a world-ending situation. If they brought something like that up, it would make a lot more sense. But when T'Challa was with his father in the dream world, talking to him, his father had nothing to say. His father couldn't even come up with a good storyline or a good excuse why he didn't share the technology with the rest of the world. Now again, I like the fact that those kings were a little bit corrupt and afraid, but at the same time, I'd expect someone so advanced and so spiritual to be wise. And I know a superhero movie is only as good as its villain, and if they did that, it would have resulted in a few cliches. I know that, but these are the things I don't like about it. They're not your things. So speaking about politics, another thing that didn't make any sense, if everyone is so advanced and so peaceful, why to become king, instead of voting or having some kind of meeting of sorts, do they have to fight to the death? Just in the beginning of the movie, while there was a car chase scene, someone pulled out a gun and started shooting at their car, when the Wakandan driver of that car said, "Oh, guns? How primitive." Yet, in this advanced utopian civilization, in order to become king, you have to kill the other person. Oh, guns are so primitive. Oh, you want to become king? Punch him in the face. Yeah, that's not primitive at all. I just think that's very contradictory that they would say guns that could shoot in about the speed of sound are primitive to them, but fighting to the death so you can be king to run your entire nation. What if your politics aren't good? What if you're just stronger than the other guy and your politics and policies are all messed up? What if you just took a lot of steroids and just happened to win? Do they even have blood tests for these battles? They just pit whoever requests a fight against the current king. They don't even check to see if he took some of that special flower goop. For super civilized people that create wonders, they have a very primitive way of making someone king, and not only that, but very unsecure. So those were the only two things that drove me crazy about this movie. Besides that, guys, I loved this movie. It's one of my favorite movies. And I know if they changed those things, the movie wouldn't be as good as it was. Because those battles to be king made the movie that much more intense. Even though the first fight was kind of random in my opinion and it came out of nowhere, I actually didn't expect something like that to happen. But if that kind of element to the story wasn't there, the movie wouldn't be as badass. And if T'Challa's father was more like Captain America and made better decisions in split seconds with his own family, and also shared their technology to better the whole world and adopt the kid that they left alone for no reason, then I know that the Killmonger character wouldn't be as impactful as he was. And I gotta tell you right now, I was almost in tears. Everybody was dead silent in the theater because they respected these characters so much, and I do respect those characters. I do admit that every king apparently before T'Challa is dumb, but Killmonger is an awesome dude. I just think you should have politics and policies that are just as advanced instead of punching the other dude in the face and just leaving a kid out in the street. They seem like such good people, and all of a sudden he's saying, oh, we couldn't leave loose ends. He's a child. He doesn't even know what loose ends means. Take the kid. It's so sad. The movie made me depressed because of that. I would have liked them to rectify what they did, give good reasons why, but for them to have some kind of deep reason when T'Challa was asking his father, there was nothing. His father was just looking at him with that glass eye. I know they're not real characters, but at the same time, I'm thinking, what real person or living being would do that? It doesn't bother me because I just want to nitpick at the story. It bothers me because morally, I would never do that to my brothers. And sure, people make mistakes. Like they said, not every man is perfect, but like T'Challa said, he didn't even give him a proper burial. So Killmonger was definitely 100% in the right in this movie. The only thing that was wrong was the way he was treating them. I think it was wrong. Who knows? Maybe the woman he choked in the garden place, maybe she did the same thing in the past. Who knows what these Wakandans can do or what they have done in the past? Because if the king could do that, then who knows what his people can do? But anyway, I just don't know what life is anymore. I still love the movie, and just let me know what you guys think. The movie is amazing, and it's one of my favorite superhero movies, but just let me know what you think about those two things I don't like about it. And thanks for watching, guys. See you guys in the next video. Later.